So you want to know about Richmond real estate and what you need to know when moving here. Well, there's a lot to know about Richmond real estate. I'm Casey Jenkins with Oak Realty, and let's dive into the multiple areas of Richmond. So just in the fact that we have about 4 counties, that if we live in those counties, we tell you we're from Richmond. So there's Richmond City, of course, there's Chesterfield, there's Henrico, and there's Hanover. And if you live in any of those 4 places, all of us are going to tell you we live in Richmond. We're not going to tell you we live in Henrico or Chesterfield or whatnot, because growing up and being in this city and just knowing everybody in this city, like all of that is Richmond to us. Because another thing is, once one county closes for schools, they all do, because they all do the same thing. So you've got to figure out where you want to be. Henrico is going to give you the best of both worlds. On the top end of Henrico, what we call the West End, you're going to get all the shopping, you're going to get short pump, you're going to get a lot of newer builds, you're going to get neighborhoods with a lot of HOAs. It just depends, and easy access to everything, lots of restaurants, lots of everything. If you go to the East End of Henrico, East End of Henrico is going to be more farm fields. It's going to be more country. It's still 5 minutes from downtown. You can still get to great shopping. You can still get to great restaurants. You're just not on top of it, and it's not going to be walkable like the West End. If you want to go a little more country, you've got Hanover. Hanover sits outside of Henrico. It's going to be a lot of farmlands. It is changing though, so it depends on what part of Hanover you're going to be in. You could be in a nice walkable neighborhood that has lots of amenities. You could be out on 5 to 10 acres in the middle of nowhere. It really depends on what you want. Hanover is going to be a little more expensive. Henrico, the West End, is going to be more expensive, where the East End is going to be less expensive. Then you come around to Chesterfield. That's on the other side of the river. Everybody will tell you it's on the other side of the river. It is cheaper because it's on the other side of the river. I don't know why. It's just the river is the Berlin Wall in Richmond. People only cross it once a day. And if you grew up on one side, you stay on one side. If you grew up on the other, you stay on the other. I'm the weird one that lived on both. But in Chesterfield, you get a lot more bang for your buck. And you have the best of both worlds. Parts of Chesterfield are 5, 10, 15 acres and a home on them. Parts of Chesterfield are huge planned neighborhoods with everything and their mother in them, including shopping and all of that, so you could walk to it. And then parts of Chesterfield are older neighborhoods built in the 60s and 70s, you know, that you get those brick ranchers, you get those solid homes, but you're definitely leaving and driving somewhere to go get something. And so that's Chesterfield. And then you've got Richmond downtown, which is completely walkable and completely all older neighborhoods. And when I say older neighborhoods, we're talking built in, I think the latest one is 1870s or 1860s, and then all the way up to, there's a few spots you can get some new condos or new townhouse builds, but the majority of them are going to be built in the 1930s to 1900s, somewhere in there. And that's going to be downtown Richmond. Some of the houses are flipped, some of the houses are not flipped. You've got the plethora that runs the gamut. It depends on what part of Richmond you're in, what your price point's going to be, because all 4 of these counties are varying price points from, you know, about 200 to 250,000 all the way up to in the millions, depending on what you're looking for. And so it really depends. Are you looking for walkable? If you're looking for walkable, where you can just come out your front porch and you can go do what you want, you can go to festivals, restaurants, places to shop, all of that, downtown Richmond's probably going to be your vibe. And so somewhere in that Richmond city. If you're looking for something more, hey, I want school districts, certain school districts, or I want, you know, the restaurants and I want those shopping places, but I don't want to have to walk to them. I just want to be able to drive to them. Then one of the outside counties might be your vibe to move to. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for country, true country, well, then we're probably talking outside of Richmond a little more in that Powhatan, Goochland, Amelia, you know, over in New Kent, Charles City, King William, all those surrounding counties outside the 4 main ones are going to give you, hey, I could get downtown in 20 to 30 minutes, but I can have 5 to 10 acres peace and quiet and nobody bothering me. And so Richmond is so full of all different types of real estate. It just comes down to what are you looking for, and then we can pinpoint where do you want to go. And that's the best way to do it is, hey, here's the lifestyle I'm looking for. And now we can go, hey, here's the parts of Richmond that fit that, because we can fit any lifestyle you're looking for, not just the downtown lifestyle. And it depends also on the county. Right now, we're in September of 2024. We're still seeing multiple offers out in Henrico County in the West End, but we're not seeing so many over in Chesterfield or in the East End. We're still seeing some multiple offers in certain school districts over in Hanover, but you're not seeing them when you go out more country into the outskirt counties. So really, what are you looking for? What's your budget? Then we can start talking, hey, these are the parts of Richmond you probably want to go drive and see what you think and see if they're a good fit for you. Because like I said, we have it all here. So if you've got more questions or you're trying to figure out, is Richmond the best place for me and where do I move in Richmond? Shoot us a DM, leave us a comment, send us a text, whatever works for you, but don't forget to like and subscribe.